Little fact, that waterfall is
the world's tallest indoor waterfall.
Facts. Hello, welcome back to another video. Samira and I are now in our 6th and final location on a little Asia trip. We're now in Singapore. Today we're going to have an action-packed full day, but before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about where we're staying. Right, so when staying in big cities, if you've seen my other videos of big cities, you've probably realised that I like staying in Airbnbs and like holiday lettings, that sort of thing. And the other thing that I think is great to do when staying in big cities is find boutique hotels. Most cities in the world will be completely overwhelmed with massive big chain hotels with hundreds if not thousands of rooms, and as good as they are and the amount of facilities they do have, which is obviously really impressive, you don't really get that sort of, there's like a lack of character, a lack of sort of like personality to them, and that's the sort of thing you get with boutique hotels. So we looked at some that were available in Singapore and we found this place called the Amoy Hotel. Now this hotel is actually built in the original plot of Singapore's oldest temple. Well, it was a temple, then it was a museum, and now it's a hotel, but the lobby is still the temple area, and I'll show you that in a bit. I'll leave a link in the description for the hotel so you can have a little look and find out more about it for yourself. As for now, let me show you around the room and give you an idea of why, in my opinion, boutique hotels are one of the best ways to do a city. Right, so let me give you a little tour of the room. So as you can see, everything has that sort of like Chinese, like authentic look. And this looks like a big mirror, but hang on a minute, it's actually the bathroom and the shower. Hello. And then you come down these little stairs here, and you enter this kind of, it's just like a cool room. Like when we first came in here, we were kind of taken away a little bit, weren't we?
Yeah, I loved it. I wanted to steal everything.
Steal? Well, funny you say that, because you don't have to steal anything, because something else which is really good about boutique hotels. I say boutique hotels, it's not a sweeping statement by any means, and it is very specific to hotels like this one, is that things like the minibar, all included, completely complimentary. So you can stuff your face and drink as many of the drinks in there as you want, and every single day they'll just refill it. Now the real creme de la creme of this hotel room though, I personally have not experienced in any hotel I've ever stayed in before. Have you experienced it before?
No, never.
That is what they call the handy phone. So this phone right here is called the handy phone. It comes with the room, it's got full 4G, maps, browser, everything on it, and it's completely complimentary. Not if you don't keep the phone, but while you're here, when you're walking around the city, you can use the phone to get around. It's got maps on it and everything like that. So it's really, really handy, and obviously our phones don't work here unless we have to buy a new SIM card or anything. So having this handy phone means that we can do everything that we would normally do on our normal phones, including like tweet and stuff, all from this handy phone. Very decent. But that's enough about the hotel for now, because we've got an action-packed day of things we need to do. Today, Samira and I are going to try and do a whole plethora of things, because we have only got a few days in Singapore, so we're trying to smash as much as we can into each day. Today we're going to head to the Gardens by the Bay, and hopefully we're going to try and get some tickets to go up to the observation deck of the Marina Bay Sands, which is that massive hotel that kind of looks like a boat on the top. Everyone always says about going for a swim in the infinity pool up there, because it's got like this world-renowned infinity pool, but I don't know how recently, but I think quite recently they changed the rules so you can't use that pool unless you're staying in a hotel. And we didn't really fancy forking out the couple of £1,000 it is a night for a room there. So we're just going to go up and pay for the observation deck ticket and get the sweet ass view. Ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. So right now we're actually in the Marina Bay Sands Hotel, only because the metro station, the MRT station, is inside it as well. So we're just about to check out the Gardens by the Bay. But look, this is it. Inside, big old boat up there, kind of. Right, so we are well and truly in the Gardens by the Bay now. We're currently in the Super Tree Grove area with these cool massive trees. Now, one of the reasons that we added Singapore to this trip, well for me anyway, I don't know about you, but for me, was that I'd heard quite a lot about it being like a future city.
Yeah.
I actually watched this little YouTube documentary by Oscar Boyson, and it was really cool about the future of cities, and there was a big section on Singapore. So I was interested in like how it was a future city and how like what it was about basically. And this garden is very much a point of that, because it's meant to be super sustainable. So just for a little example, listen to this. Right, so these super trees, they're not just cool big artificial trees, they have a purpose. So you can obviously see the foliage growing around the outside, so they act as a sort of like support system for that. They've got solar panels on the roof, which power a part of, if not a decent proportion of, like the light stuff that goes on in there and all the technological stuff that's going on in the side. And on that, these trees actually also work as a cooling system for the conservatories, which are another part of the gardens, which we'll show you in a bit. One of the coolest parts about these super trees is that you can actually pay to go up them. So a little bit of information about the cloud forest. So the temperature in here is sort of meant to mimic that of a mountain rainforest sort of vibe. And it does it very well because it's a lot cooler than it was outside, but still the sort of humidity that you'd expect. That behind me is meant to sort of replicate a mountain, and then all the plants around it sort of they go, and you learn a lot about biodiversity, a lot about different plants and stuff like that. It's very interesting. And little fact, that waterfall is
The world's tallest indoor waterfall.
facts. Now we're in the Flower Dome, which is a massive conservatory. Actually, fact check.
It is the world's largest conservatory, or is it indoor conservatory? Well, no, that doesn't make sense. Glass conservatory.
Gosh, she was so close. She was so close. So we just got back to the hotel from a massive day at the Gardens by the Bay. I think we both can agree that we did not expect that to take the whole day.
No, we thought it was going to be half a day, and our feet are so tired.
It was a full-on day, but to be fair, there was a lot to see, so it was good that we did it. But it does mean that I haven't been able to show you the sort of cultural side of Singapore that I wanted to do, so we'll have to pick that up on another day. But for now, good night. And we're back. It's the following evening in Singapore, and we said we were going to show you some cultural local Singapore, so let's do it. Right, so I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I thought you were going to show us some local culture, or you've shown us what you've had for dinner. Well, that is a local culture. Hawker markets are big here, similarly to where else we've been on this trip as well. Hawker markets are a big thing here. So much so that everyone that we've asked, even people that have lived here or live here or have just been here, the first thing they said when we asked them to recommend something to us was Hawker markets, food in Chinatown, and that's where we are right now. The coolest part about this place though is that if you were to directly zoom out from our location right now, you see that we're surrounded by modern skyscrapers, yet still we're sitting on chairs and tables in the middle of the street in between Chinese shop houses that are hundreds of years old. That isn't culture, I don't know what is. Put that in your culture pipe and smoke it. Although don't smoke because it's bad for you. But yeah, that is it for the Asia trip. As always, let me know what you think of the videos. If you like them, give them a little thumbs up, and get in the comments with any questions you might have about Singapore, about the trip in general, or any of the places we've been. I'll get in the comments and I'll be happy to respond and answer your questions, as will you.
Yeah, I'll get in the comments. I'll respond.
She'll get in the comments too. Also, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, because I don't know what's going on YouTube at the moment, but I want as many people to see the videos as possible and for you guys not to miss any, so make sure you subscribe and your notifications are on, all that palaver. But other than that, we'll see you in the next video.